Hi my dear students, welcome back to Tungal online classes. Today class regarding application of biotechnology in agriculture, mainly providing or production of pest resistant crops. Here the question is, what is the necessary to provide the pest resistant crops? What is the benefits? The first benefit is we can reduce the reliance of using chemicals or chemical fertilizers. Also we can reduce the water pollution, soil pollution as well as atmosphere pollution when we using chemical biofertilizers. And the third one is indirectly we can promoting or enhancement of crop yield. So this is actually main use of pest resistant crop or pest resistant plants. In the NCERT, two examples are given. The first example is BT cotton and second example is transgenic plant, nothing but tobacco, RNA interference or mRNA silencing. Two examples are given. So first let's start with BT cotton. BT cotton. The concept is here, by using of genetic engineering, BT actually it is one bacteria. Bacillus thuringiensis, it is a bacteria. By using of genetic engineering, we are isolated the genes from Bacillus thuringiensis with the help of restriction endonuclease enzyme, and it is ligated into the cotton plant with the help of ligase enzyme. Now the cotton plant is become as what? Recombinant plant, nothing but genetically modified organism. Here now these bacteria genes are starting expression in cotton plant. So such thing is useful to the cotton plant and it is also useful for increasing of crop yield. Let's start the lesson. Here the main use of providing of pest resistant plants are, the first one is reduce the reliance of chemical use or chemical fertilizer use. And the second one is we can reduce the pollution. If you use the chemicals as a fertilizer, it's going to cause air pollution, water pollution, water pollution as well as soil also going to get polluted. And third point is, by using of pest resistant crops, indirectly we increase the crop production. So this is actually main use of providing pest resistant crops. In NCERT, the first example is given regarding BT cotton, that is one of the famous and easy topic. BT cotton, preparation of BT cotton. BT cotton, actually it is a combination of BT, B means Bacillus and T means thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis, actually it is a bacteria. It is what? It is one bacteria. So from bacteria, toxic genes are isolated, cutted by with the help of restriction endonuclease enzyme, and latter is isolated. And such genes incorporated in cotton genome. How we are going to paste this desired gene? With the help of ligase enzyme. Now it is become as what? A recombinant plant. and also we can call as genetically modified organism, because we already altered the sequence of tobacco, altered the sequence of cotton plant. Our genome is manipulated. Such altered gene sequence or manipulated genome plants we can call as what? Genetically modified organisms or plants. Okay. Next, here for example, this is actually one bacteria. This bacteria here, this is bacterial genome. Here, this is a plasmid. This is a plasmid. The plasmid is consists of some special genes, so which are toxic to insect. So these genes we eliminated, we are cutted and isolated with the help of recombination DNA technology. Now these genes are transferred into one dicot plant. So this is cotton plant. Cotton is what? Cotton is a dicot plant belonging to Malvaceae family. So here, now these genes are, when they are introduced at embryonic stage, so these genes are introduced. Then what happened? Now the embryo is become as what? Seed. Now seed is germinated and become as one plant. Now here the point is here, these toxic genes or gene product is present in every cell of cotton plant. Like these genes or gene product is present in leaf as well as stem. Clear? Got the point? So by this we can prepare the genetically modified organism for a pest resistant. Clear? Now these genes, especially these toxic genes, have the capacity to kill the insect. So that's why we call as, this plant is called as pest resistance plant. Now the plant is become as what? Pest resistant, especially for insect. Further, no need to use any pest chemicals for killing of insect. So we already reduced the using of chemicals as a fertilizers. Okay. Next, such type of plants we can call as biopesticide plants. So now we've already prepared biopesticide plants. Biopesticide plants, like examples are BT cotton, as well as corn plants, corn, maize, rice and soya bean. So these are different plants we are going to produce. For what purpose? Insect resistant crops. By using of genetic recombination process, now we are prepared pest resistant crops we prepared. Okay. Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria containing toxic genes is known as Cry genes, Cry1, Cry2, A, B, AC, like these genes. These genes are going to code for one special protein. The protein is in the form of crystallized form. So that protein is very harmful to insect. It has the capacity to kill the insect. So that's why it is also called as insecticidal protein, and it is also have the capacity to kill different types of insect like diphtheria members, cotton worms, army worms, as well as cotton ball worms, and flies, mosquitoes, like this one. Let's write the point. Bacillus thuringiensis it is contain special genes. Such genes are called as Cry genes. It is called as what? Cry genes. So these genes, these Cry genes are going to code for special proteins, So these proteins are in crystal form. The proteins are in crystal forms in cytoplasm of bacteria. So this crystal form of protein, which is very harmful, as well as it have the capacity to kill insects. So that's why it is also called as insecticidal. It is also called as insecticidal protein. It is called as insecticidal protein. Clear? Next, here it is going to kill one specific types of insect. They are lepidopterans. This is one class. In this class, like budworms, as well as army worms, they belong to this class, a lepidopteran class. And second class is coleopterans. Second one is coleopterans. In this class, beetles are coming under this class. Third one is diphtheria member, diphtheria class. In this, flies as well as mosquitoes. Are coming into this. Clear? So these Bt genes, they are going to code for one special protein that is called as insecticidal protein, which have the capacity to kill different class of insect. The first one is lepidopterans, second one is coleopterans, third one is diphtheria members like flies, mosquitoes, beetles, budworms, as well as army worms. It can kill. But here the question is came in your mind, sir, if it has the capacity to kill an insect, then why not it is going to affect to Bacillus thuringiensis? If it has the capacity to kill an insect, then why the bacteria is not affected from this crystallized toxin proteins? This is a question. Here, why toxic crystal protein is not affect to bacteria? This is the question. So the answer is, what you have to write? The answer is, in bacteria, the plasmid is containing the special genes, nothing but cryogens. They expressed and they code for special protein. The protein is inactive form. In bacteria, these proteins are inactive form. So that is called as protaxin. It is called as protaxin. The protaxin is insoluble in cytoplasm. Clear? When it is soluble into the water or cytoplasm, then only it is going to affect the individual. Clear? Next, here why it is going to infect to only insect? Like for example, this is a cotton plant. So cotton plant leaf. We already inserted these genes at embryonic level. Now embryo is become a seed to plant. Each and every cell is containing Bt cotton genes, and Bt cotton crystallized protein is there, but it is in inactive form. When insect is this protein or protein contain cell, when it is allowing this protein containing cell, nothing but leaf pod. Now what happened? This protein is, which is insoluble protoxin, is activated in guts of insect, because when it is allowing the insect guts containing pH is like alkaline pH is there in guts of insect. So these alkaline pH conditions are needed for activation of protaxin. Alkaline pH conditions are needed for activation of protaxins. Now it is activated. Now protein is active. Now it is become as insoluble to soluble. Soluble toxic protein is formed. Now it have the capacity to affect on insect. Like now this protein is going to make a pores on guts of epithelium cells of insect. Now the protein has the capacity to making small holes on guts of epithelium cells. Then one character, and second is when having the insect guts are going to swell. It hugely going to swell. Due to that, it is unable to uptake food molecules. Then gradually, to lack of food molecules, eventually it going to die. Simple. The insect, if it is not having Bacillus thuringiensis leaf, then it is survived. If it is eating Bacillus thuringiensis, nothing but Bt cotton leaves, the leaves are containing chrysin product in inactive form, like crystallized form. When it is entered into the insect of diphtheria member, flies member, or cotton balls or armyworms, their insect in guts alkaline pH is present. So this alkaline pH is activate the protaxins, and it is soluble in the cytoplasm when it has the capacity to make the pores on guts of epithelium cells. Then eventually it is going to die. So by this we can kill without using of any pest, we can kill the insect. Clear? And these are insect specific. Bt genes are insect specific. Like the first one is Cry1AB genes. So these genes have the capacity to kill the corn borers. And next genes are Cry1AC and Cry2AB. Second genes are Cry1AC and Cry2AB. So these two genes are control the cotton bollworms. Control the cotton bollworms. So that's why these genes are what? Species. These genes are insect specific. So this is actually how this is complete information regarding Bt cotton. Next, disadvantage of transgenic plants, nothing but Bt cotton. So now we already discussed regarding merits as well as advantage of Bt cotton. But some of demerits also be there, such is not called in NCERT, but it is competition point of view, it is important. What is the disadvantage of Bt cotton? Here, the first disadvantage is Bt cotton pollen grains are very harmful as toxic to monarch butterflies. That's why nowadays you can see the butterfly varieties as well as population is hugely or decreased. The reason is these pollen grains. And next, so these Bt genes are useful to increase the resistant power in mosquitoes. Second point. And third point is, if for example this Bt cotton pollen grains are crossed or cross pollination to any one of the weed plant, the chances is there to form super weed. We can't kill such super weeds by using of herbicides. And next, these Bt cotton seeds are little bit costly if you compare with the normal seeds. And one more disadvantage is, if you, for example, if Bt cottons are every year using, after 10 years or after 15 years, the insect also learned or the insect also be developed the resistant power to this Bacillus thuringiensis. So this is actually disadvantages. Right? Each and every point. The first point is Bt cotton pollen grains are harmful to butterflies. Next, this Bt cotton pollen grains, if they are cross-pollinated. They are cross-pollinated by any grass plants or weed plants. Grass plants or weed plants. Then what happens? There is chance to formation of super weeds. We can't kill the super weeds by using of herbicides. And next point is the Bt seeds are very cost. If you compare to normal cotton seeds. Next, so these Bt genes, they are going to increase or enhance the resistant power to mosquitoes. Next, gradually insects also develop the resistance to Bt protein. Okay, so this is actually disadvantages of Bt cotton. Pest resistant Bt cotton we already discussed, and second transgenic plant is genetically modified organism is cotton plant. So these cottons are generally they suffer from association of nematodes, Platyhelminthes, Nematohelminthes, Ascahelminthes, roundworms. So some of roundworms or Nematohelminthes are present in soil that going to cause effect to tobacco roots. So from tobacco root, these nematodes are absorbed maximum nutrition, minerals, water or food it absorbed. So due to that, the plant is gradually wilt and the yield is gradually going to decrease. To overcome this problem, the scientists are invented one strategy, that is RNAi, interference of RNA. By using of RNA, we are going to block the protein synthesis of nematode species. Let's see how it is work. Here, first nematodes are associated with the roots of tobacco plant. So from tobacco roots they obtain water, minerals and food molecules also. Due to that, the plant production or the crop yield is gradually decreased, and these nematodes they can cause diseases to plants. It is also called as root gall disease. Next, these are parasites in plants, animals, and some are nematodes parasites in human also. Now to overcome of this problem, the scientists have invented one new technique, novel strategy, that is RNA interference. I means interference. It is also called as mRNA silence. mRNA silencing. To understanding of mRNA silence as well as RNA interference, we have to know regarding protein synthesis first. Let's see first the DNA. During the protein synthesis, the winding DNA is become as little bit unwinding DNA. Now, when it is become as unwinding, the nitrogen bases are opened. On opened nitrogen bases, cytoplasm containing nitrogen bases are added to form one complementary strand. So such a complementary strand is called as mRNA. Now this mRNA is containing codons. This mRNA is containing what? Codons. Now these codons are going to code for proteins. The proteins are useful for survey of human. So here the plan is here. If we are going to block or destroy the mRNA of nematode, then it is have no capacity to prepare the proteins for survival of nematode. then ultimately the nematode is going to die. Got the point or not? Simple. What have to do? During the protein synthesis, mRNA is synthesized from DNA. Now this mRNA is essential for protein synthesis. If you block the mRNA synthesis, or if you block the or destroy or inactivation of mRNA, it is ultimately going to kill the pathogen, nothing but nematodes. Let's see, this is DNA, dsDNA, double stranded DNA. At the beginning, the DNA is helical. During the protein synthesis, the DNA is formed like this. So this touch, now these two strands are like single stranded. Now this is a nitrogen bases are open sequence. Now what happened? From cytoplasm, for example here A is there. A is going to bind with thioine. If here G is there, here C is going to bind. Like here, complementary base pairs are formed and become as mRNA. Become as what? mRNA. Now this mRNA is always single stranded. It is always single strand. This single stranded mRNA, it is containing codon. So these codons are useful to code protein, to code to proteins. So these proteins are very essential too for survival of humans or survival of like nematodes or whatever it may be. Now our plan is what? Now we are going to silencing of this mRNA or inactivation or blocking of this mRNA with the help of RNA. So that is called as what? RNA interference or nothing but mRNA silencing. Got the point or not? Here, this is mRNA. mRNA is going to code for special proteins. Special proteins. Now what we are going to do? We are block the activity of mRNA with the help of RNAi. With the help of RNAi. Then what happened? Now this mRNA, M means messenger. M means what? Messenger. Now this mRNA have no capacity to code for any proteins. Now if proteins are not formed, so there is no formation of enzymes. If enzymes are not formed, it is unable to perform catalyst like metabolism as well as anabolism is not done. So ultimately after somewhat time the nematode is going to die. So this is actually novel strategy to kill the nematodes. So for that we have two techniques are there. Here by using of RNAi one technique, and second technique is like rDNA technology. rDNA technology. Here let's see first, in this case what we will do. Here generally RNAi, it is a defense mechanism in all eukaryotic cells. It is a defense mechanism in all eukaryotic cells. All eukaryotic cells. Defense mechanism means, for example, so this is one human cell. Here this is one chromosome, the chromosome is containing, like this is DNA. Now when, for example, one virus is entered or one bacteria is entered, when bacteria or virus is entered, this DNA is activated and producing two types of mRNAs, and it produces two types of mRNAs. So that is, one is sense mRNA, sense stand mRNA, and next one is antisense stand mRNA. Sense stand mRNA, one is antisense stand mRNA. Now these both stands are complementary to each other to form DS or RNA, double-stranded RNA. Then we can have one doubt. Sir, generally RNA is single-stranded. Yes, generally RNA is a single-stranded, no doubt at all. But in eukaryotic cell, during the defense mechanism, here two strands are formed. One is sense mRNA, one is antisense mRNA. So these two mRNAs are complementary to each other. So that's why double stranded is formed only in a defense condition. Okay. Now this dRNA, here out of these two strands, one strand is complementary to this virus released RNA or this bacteria released RNA, complementary to pathogen mRNA. So for example, this is a virus. The virus is released one mRNA, and humans, during the defense mechanism, here it is produced one mRNA sense and also one more mRNA to become as double stranded. After somewhat time, any one of the mRNA is survived and one mRNA will go into die. So this remaining one strand, it is complementary to virus or human releasing, virus or pathogen releasing mRNA. Now what happened? This is complementary to this one. It means, for example, here A, G, C, 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 G is there. Complementary means what here? A is going to thymine, C, G, G, G and C. Now it is complementary to this mRNA. Now what happened? This mRNA is become as DS RNA, double-stranded RNA is formed. When, like for example, when mRNA is open in single strand, then only it has the capacity to code for proteins. When it is become as like double-stranded, it is have no capacity to code any proteins. Nothing but here this mRNA is blocked. mRNA is what? Blocked. Now this blocked mRNA have no more capacity for production of proteins. Then what happened? So due to the lack of food, this virus or this pathogen is gradually going to die. So this is actually defense mechanism in all eukaryotic cell. It is already present. Clear? Next. Now our task is what? We have to kill the pathogen of nematode by using RNA silencers. Now what we have to do? Like this already double-stranded RNA, dsRNA, double-stranded RNA, it is already obtained from like some RNA viruses or transposable element. the source of double stranded RNA is, an insight is given, the source of double stranded RNA is, one is RNA infected virus and transposable elements. So from this we prepared double stranded RNA. Now this is we are going to injected to tobacco plant. Now this double stranded RNA we are going to injected to tobacco plant. In tobacco plant what happened? Out of these two strands, one strand will be survive, one strand will be die. And this one strand of mRNA, it is complementary to nematode producing mRNA. So this is complementary to nematode mRNA. Now what happened? Nematode mRNA activity is blocked. Now the nematode mRNA have no more capacity to produce or to code for protein. Then gradually what happened? It is going to die. So this is actually called as mRNA silencing process. Let's see the diagram. So this is double stranded RNA, dsRNA, the source of RNA infected virus as well as transposable elements, which sequence is already complementary to nematode mRNA. So such is inserted in a eukaryotic cell of protoplasm. Then what happened? So in cytoplasm, in the presence of dicer enzyme, so this double stranded mRNA, double stranded RNAs are broken down into small pieces, and each one piece we can call as siRNA, small interference RNA. Now it is double stranded. Now it is what? Double stranded. And again, in the presence of ribonuclease enzyme, this double stranded small interference RNA become as single stranded RNA. Now this single stranded RNA bind with some proteins and form RISC. It means RNA interference silence complex. RNA interference silence complex is formed. Like after formation of this RISC complex, now it is waiting for complementary strand. When nematode is entered into the plant cell, during the protein synthesis is produced mRNA, and such mRNA is complementary to, so this RISC complex. Now see, this is nematode mRNA is already released in tobacco cell, plant cell. Now this sequence is complementary to this single stranded RNA. Now what happened? Both are come together to form of complementary double stranded RNA is formed. After that, with influence of siRNA, it have the capacity to break down into small pieces. Now mRNA is broken into small pieces. Clear? This siRNA, nothing but small interference RNA, it is silencing of mRNA activity. Due to the binding of siRNA, the mRNA is not going to express. So now it has capacity to code proteins. So that's why it is called as what? mRNA silencing. Okay. Then later what happened? It is going to cleave into pieces. It means nothing but it is mRNA is going to denaturated. So gradually, to the lack of food molecules, the nematode is gradually going to die. So this is actually mRNA silencing, nothing but RNA interference. I said one more method is there, that is nothing but rDNA technology. In this technology, what have to do? Simple. From nematode, DNAs are isolated. DNA is isolated and that is inserted in TA plasmid. Inserted in TA plasmid. Now TA plasmid is containing nematode DNA, and such a TA plasmid is again introduced in tobacco plant. In tobacco plant, again the DNA is going to perform defense mechanism, and again this DNA is going to produce two types of mRNA. One is sense mRNA, one is nonsense mRNA. So these both are complementary in nature to form of dsRNA, and the latter the same procedure will happen. Clear? So by this also we can silence the mRNA by RDNA technology. Okay, clear? So this is actually how we are going to control the insect as well as nematodes from cotton as well as tobacco plants. Thank you all of you.